Hi guys, so thanks for joining me today. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today just about a safe place. And a safe place isn't actually a place. Instead, it's really more of a person. But I say it's a safe place because we're talking about a place where your spirit, your mind, and your soul can dwell in its most vulnerable point. And we all go through tough times, we all go through difficulties. We all go times when maybe we're not so sure about how we feel or what we should do. So a safe place is a person that you can go to, that you can talk to, somebody whose shoulder you can cry on, that person that you trust with your innermost thoughts and feelings. And sometimes a safe place comes in handy because we can't handle it all, and we don't need to. That's what I really want to advocate and promote today, is that we don't have to handle it all alone. And so I encourage you that if you're going through something difficult, I hope that you have someone that you can trust, someone that you can speak to. And sometimes it's not even about speaking it out. Sometimes it's just having a person who knows you well enough or cares about you just on a core level of humanity, where that person can sometimes just sit in silence with you and let you just be without having to ask you a ton of questions or, try to find out more. A lot of times for us, that can be a family member, it can be a friend. Sometimes it's, clergy, depending on whatever faith you choose to practice under. But I really want to take the time today to talk about therapy. I feel like now we're in a time and we are of a generation where therapy is becoming more and more acceptable, less and less of a stigma or a sign of weakness or shame, or for any reason that you may be struggling. And it always blows my mind that I guess people still associate that stigma with therapy, counseling, or any sort of mental health care that they may seek for themselves or for others. A lot of times we walk around in denial. And when I speak about the generational piece, I know a lot of us come from families or backgrounds where it may be the thought that therapy is for crazy people, or what's wrong with you might be the response. Or if we are seeking therapy or help or counseling, we don't really say it openly because we're afraid or concerned that people may judge us, that they may perceive us in a light that we don't want to be looked at. But I really just want to encourage us to break that cloud, because therapy is and can be a wonderful and beautiful thing. It is another human being saying, I'm open, I'm available, and I'm here for you. A lot of times when we have those places that we know personally, that friend, that family member, that brother, that sister, mom, dad, whomever it is that we're calling on, you can't say for sure if that person is unbiased. You can't say that that person isn't coming to the table with their own set of stuff. So when you seek help from a professional, you're getting someone who is helping you take care of yourself because you're setting aside a specific time. Sometimes we're so busy going, doing, helping, supporting, that we look to sleep or socializing as our ways to just kind of break even in handling the day-to-day stress or sometimes crisis that we're in. But understand that going to see someone is you setting aside time better than any massage, any happy hour, any just thing that you could do that would be kind of a band-aid. And so it's a person that's telling you that they are available without judgment, that they will listen to you. A lot of times listening is so hard for a lot of us because we hear what the person says, but we are ready to just bounce back. We're too busy having our own inner monologue and being prepared to interject, to counter, to give feedback, to give advice, support, questions, clarity, when the person who is there to support you as a counselor really is just listening. And it's also a person who is trained in that background of giving you feedback or guidance. But I always think it's crazy that, if you had a problem with your car, you wouldn't try to just fix it on your own. If you had a problem with maybe your stove and there was a gas leak, you wouldn't try to fix that on your own, at least, those things not to a great extent. And so why do we not want to ask for help with our mental and our emotional and our spiritual well-being? I just saw a commercial that spoke to the USA Soccer Championships. Congratulations to the ladies. But the commercial said, "Strong alone, champions together." And so I want you to know, I thought that was so great. I want you to know that you don't have to be strong alone all the time. That you should have someone who is a safe place. But also, if you feel like you can't talk to some people or what you're going through, sometimes we get tired of being just a broken record. People will constantly care about us, will want to be there for us, and they'll say, "What's going on? What's wrong? You seem this kind of way." And sometimes we can just retreat because we say, "I'm tired of being the same broken record, always sounding like I'm complaining or like I've had the same problem for the last 2 weeks, 3 months, 2 years, 4 years." Sometimes it's internal, sometimes it's stuff that's going on around us that we just feel like, you know what? I'm tired of hearing myself talk about it. And in that time, I say, trust someone to help you. A lot of times insurance is an issue, but I encourage you, there are a lot of places that you can go that will take you on a sliding scale, or places that will take you if you have any sort of Medicaid or anything like that. But you should have a place where you can be weak. And I think being able to admit that you are in a moment of weakness is a beautiful thing. I learned from someone who I consider a mentor that vulnerability is the most beautiful thing that we can share with each other in life. It's how we connect, it's how we grow, it's how we share, and how we just show compassion and humanity to each other. So I hope that you have a safe place. I always extend myself as that to people. And I want you to understand that when I'm talking to you like this, it isn't just me spouting out what I think or what I believe. It's what I've learned through experience myself, or also what I've learned from just connecting to other people. And I want to hear your feedback. So leave me a comment or feel free to ask a question. I share about things that I see and hear about in my life, and I want to know what's going on for you. And so if you have a question, it doesn't mean I have to shout out your name or say specifically what your question or inquiry is, but feel free to leave a comment or inbox me with a question if there's something that you want to hear more about. I appreciate your time. Thanks for listening.